Emmanuel.
Once you enter time, the responsibility to grow is your own. No spirit will study the word for you. No spirit will pray for you. No spirit will build capacity for you.
We want to hear your
You see, there's something you don't know. When the world is trying to banter the church and you go and try to think you are actually defending the church, you are dancing to their tune.
And then there are people, no matter where they hide, even in 1,000 people, people will always say, we are our leader. What they don't know you from anywhere. Everybody just came into just one. They don't know your background. They don't know who you are. You have no reason.
First, I want to just do a quick overview of the outcome of the life of an average man. The first 20 years of a man's life is dedicated and designed to be devoted to discovering himself in the world. The first 20 years of a man's life is designed to be dedicated to discovering himself in the world. That self-discovery process starts by the ABC and the 1, 2, 3 a child is forced to learn quickly, so that once he has learned that, he is allowed to interact with other higher levels of knowledge. But you see, knowledge in itself is not what creates transformation alone. It is guided knowledge that we use to influence the changes that we want. When an average man is done devoting 20 years to discovering himself in the world, probably the next 10 years is also spent trying to fit into a system in the cosmos. So before you came, there are already successful laid down systems. There are health systems, educational systems, the politics, there is business, there is sports and entertainment, media. There are different systems that all you need to do, don't be creative, find which one you want to enter and enter. That's the narrative for the average man. And before the average man will fit in properly into a system, at least 25 to 30 years of his life has been spent. Unfortunately, you can only bend a tree to assume a shape when it is still fresh, when it is still young. Even a fish can only be bent when it is fresh. Once it gets dried, there is only how much pressure you can put without recording a loss. The first almost 20 to 30 years of a man's life was intelligently demanded by the system to be used, number one, to discover yourself, and number two, to find your place in the cosmos. Unfortunately, when you are done discovering yourself, every reputation and identity the cosmos will make available to a man must come with a disadvantage. So you may even be celebrating that, look at where all my other mates when we graduated are. I am one of the most successful. But I heard a brother one day said there's nobody among his mates that is more blessed than him. I saw the pitifulness in his life. I'm about to share something with us, and when the burden come, yield to it. It's somewhere in my discourse, it will come. So this teaching will not have an end. When would a man, what time does a man have to begin to navigate his way to find the narrative of the immortal realm concerning his life? So at age 30, the average lady is already pressured. Everybody is putting you under pressure to settle down. When are you going to get married? What is going on? And you don't want to be pressured, but you cannot help it. No matter how you pretend tonight, just be truthful to yourself. The pressure is real. The average young man is already being burdened. He's looking everywhere. He's trying to compare his life with those whom they started the race together. And the more he's looking through that lens, the more what he discovered himself to be in the cosmos is a failure. The very fact that he does not feel like he has met up to the criteria. Mind you, there are apostles in darkness whom these script writers, the intelligence of the princes in darkness that scripted this script, they made sure they will have some apostles that will be there as envoys, displaying flamboyancy and wealth on public notice, so that while you are comparing yourself with what you are seeing, the average man is saying, see my mates at this age. That thinking alone puts a pressure on a man, a weight, so he begins to lust after the things of the world without knowing that a script is being played out in his life, and it took an intelligence to arrive there. So the average young man is going online and see a young boy with a t-shirt and a slide and colored socks and just a crossover bag with an SUV, a G-Wagon. And you are there, you that you are still studying, you that you are learning one hand trade, one skill or another, you are thinking all these things is a waste of time. See my mates, see where they are. That heart posture to begin to yearn for the things, that was all Satan needed by taking Jesus to an exceeding high mountain, to impact upon him a sight that the suggestion of that sight is to impact a lust in your soul. And scripture says, love not the world, neither the things that are inside the world, because if this world can make you love it, the love of the Father can never be in you. You will find out that at the end of your life, the summary statement of your life was that he possessed things. But the end of a man's life, greatness will not be measured by the abundance of possession. It will be measured by the weight of his obedience and alignment to the ordinance of God. So at the end of all you would have done, maybe you built a house. Unfortunately, time will mark your call. When time comes to mark you, in 20 years time, that house will not be relevant again. Have you seen reigning houses that you were freaked about some years back? Now you pass by them and they look like old archives of forgotten relics. That is somebody's legacy. A man built a house and wrote his name on it. Wrote his name and used concrete to form the name so that the erosive effect of rain will not blot it out. Unfortunately, if he's alive to see what that house looked like today, he would be trying to clean his name. It's no longer something to be proud of. But unfortunately, the intelligence in darkness is such that a man will labor, but his labor will be the labor of a fool. There is a message that is domiciled in the three-dimensional world, and that's what I draw our attention to. The message is in the force of gravity. The force of gravity was intelligently put around the earth cross so that an immortal message can be communicated to spiritual men. And everybody who can discern the handwriting of the world will tell that there is a programming inside the cosmos to make that men will not ascend without a superior intelligence that will make, although there is gravity, planes fly because they use a superior law. There is gravity. A plane is made up of a metal. A metal is the material they use to build its body. So it's very dense. But in the face of this thing called gravity, a plane had to inculcate a higher law, the law of aerodynamics, that although gravity is real, but in the face of this other law, gravity is inconsequential. Any man who will prevail in the cosmos, you will conquer gravity. And the gravity of life is the things I bring to your eyes tonight. There are many things that keep men glued to the ground. And what is the ground? The ground is where you came from. The ground is the dust. The ground is your fallen nature. The ground is the flesh. And they made sure that this law will continue to pull you to stay with the ground. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Every man who have had need and had the way to touch anything in God, they found a way to ascend. And your ascension is what Satan has made sure that if at least we set these systems like this, before he will remember his creator, he will not be in the days of his youth again. I've met many a man, believe me, who are trying by all means round the clock to strike relevant chords in their life in the evening stage of their life. They have gone to pursue all the things that are in Egypt. What they didn't realize is that Pharaoh will never give you enough to be okay. You will only have rations per day, so that you will need to work another day so you can get the bread for that day. You will be born as free men, but there is a system in the cosmos that will put chains in the hands of people. So much so that when you want to call upon the name of Adonai, your father from whom you came, you will be begging Pharaoh to let you go and serve your God. That's the story of the average man. when you are done pursuing everything, now you that was born free, unfortunately the price of all you got was chain. What shall it profit a man? You don't like the message I bring for you today, but this is the heartbeat of God. What shall it profit a man? I was just reflecting today about the way life can so happen and cease so suddenly. Unfortunately, most of us here are young people, and we have some elderly people in our midst. We celebrate them. But let me tell you one truth. Not everybody here will grow up to be fathers. Not everybody here will be mothers. It's an unfortunate reality. What the spirits call long life is not longevity of age. Long life is the ability of a design to fulfill the reason why it was created. The day, oh my God, Jesus fulfilled his purpose at age 33 and a half, and as far as the celestial hosts were concerned, he lived long. You are the only one saying, I shall not die but live to declare the works of the Lord, and the contemplations of your heart while you said so was accruing physical age. What is the use of age when what your life exalted was iniquity? What is the use of age when your life did not add any value to the systems of Zion? What is the use of age if at the end of the day your verdict is, depart from me, ye worker of iniquity? You walked, but your labor strengthened the systems of iniquity. There is a gravity in our generation, the same gravity that has made young men to cleave to the bottle and drown their sorrows in wine. There is a gravity in our generation, the same gravity that have made ladies to lose touch with any sense of self-worth. People are burdened with inferiority complex. I have met a lot. Even after all the makeup, after everything, the lady is still very sorrowful inside. The weight was designed so that when you come, you will meet it. Let me share something with you. The systems were intelligently made that way. There are apostles that are affronting all these things in darkness. They already made it clear that when you arrive, there is a standard they want you to compare yourself to. So there is a length of hair that they say this is the standard length. There is a length of height that if you are not as tall as that, you should consider yourself a defective product. There is a skin texture. They have picked out all of these parameters, and subconsciously, through the power of the media, they use these things to sell the standard of what a man should be to us. And the average young woman does not know where her insecurity came from. It was out of the excess of her interface with the world. You will have to walk out of the cosmos. Although you still have to wear a suit and go to work, but you will not be coming out of a house built with bricks and clay. You will live like a herbalist. You will come out from your shrine only to come and confirm the results of your permutation. Because if you live in the world, I'm telling you the truth, it was Apostle Michael Rocco that said you would never command the allegiance of a generation that civilized you. If they are the ones that tilted your mind, affected your school of thought, there is nothing you can offer them. I call a generation today who would live on the mountains. The only time you come down is to come and check whether what you concocted in the spirit realm has found expression. A herbalist does not live with men. There's a reason why he isolated himself. He separated himself so that his attention can only be called by the deity that he summons to. So if anytime a herbalist is coming out of the shrine, he's coming with mysteries. Now there is Facebook, there's WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, all these things struggling for the very few hours in the day. And the day, a full course of a day, is a typology of the progression of a man's life. So if you check in just a day alone, they have plotted the ways that you are going to lose so many valuable seasons, valuable hours. You think you only spent 3 hours on the internet, but I tell you the truth, what they are doing to your mind is more consequential than even the times you stood there and watching.